When did 6 rings not become enough? Think about this. This is a thought exercise. This is what I like to do with these topic videos. I like to think about things, talk about them, I like to get you guys thinking about things. When did 6 rings not become enough? I've heard a lot over these last 2 months that LeBron's going to pass Jordan in this category, pass Jordan in that category, pass Jordan in this category. He's going to do anything. He's just the Dalai Lama walking on water. And a lot of people have even shaped the argument out, so it's like, well, give me one thing Jordan does better than LeBron, and you just can't say 6 rings. What? When did we get to a point where you can't judge a guy by his titles? Think about it. That's like, and I'm not even someone who's like outright, oh, if you have more rings than this player, you're automatically a greater player. You know, we all know Charles Barkley is better than a lot of dudes who've ever played this game, and he doesn't have a single ring. Allen Iverson doesn't have a single ring. Could ball up 90% of the people that ever played this game. So just having a ring does not make you better. Derek Fisher has 5 and Robert Horry has like 8. So it's not an end-all be-all thing. But there's so many factors that go into a great basketball player. Everyone kind of came to the decision that, hey, you are a step above, and especially if you're the best player on a team that gets a ring. If you are the Kobe Bryant, if you are the Hakeem Olajuwon, you are the Tim Duncan. You're a step up in the grand scheme of things. And we have to have these kind of things. Why do we have an age limit? Because it's not that 18 outright for every single person is when you're an adult and you're mature, but we had to set a line and be like, okay, this is what we're all going to go with. People will differ from it. People will be able to some people could legitimately be considered adults before that. Some take some extra time. But we all decided, hey, this is what we're going to go with. So with basketball players and football players a lot of times, we go with championships. Who was the best on basically the biggest stage? With LeBron, though, people just don't want that to be a part of the conversation. And it really throws me off, because I'm like, a lot of the people, maybe this is just a coincidence, but a lot of the guys that really like LeBron like Brady. And they use the argument, well, LeBron's going to get to 9, 10 finals, Jordan only got to 6, and they're going to say Brady got to 7 Super Bowls, Montana only got to 4. Okay, that's fine. You're right, 100%. Then why wasn't John Elway considered the greatest of all time? Now, I'm a Bronco fan, and I understand I'm obviously biased to this. I personally, as objective as I can be, I think Elway's the 3rd greatest quarterback of all time. And I'll tell you why in a later video. But that's where I have him. I have him right below Brady and Montana. Well, if it's just, though, getting to the most, even if you don't win the most, but getting to the most is what gets you past those guys. Elway got to 5 before he retired, and I was pretty sure that was more than Bradshaw's 4 or Montana's 4. Yeah, it was. 5 is still bigger than 4. Man, I'm glad my math is right. So, if that's the case, why wasn't all you people that are making this rationale line of thinking for LeBron, why didn't you make that same thing for Elway? In fact, those same people who love LeBron and love Brady didn't even make that same rationale for Brady until he finally got the 5th ring. Once he passed Montana, that's when we were like, okay, you have more, and not only have you been to more, you've just won more. You're not perfect, but you've won more. And I'd be willing to conceal something if LeBron got to... If LeBron's, 3 and 4 in finals right now? Say he got to 4 more, right? So, he's got this one, then say he's 3 more after this. Say he gets to 7 and 4. You have an argument. I'd be willing to get to just say, he's the greatest ever. He got to as many as Russell, or 1 less than Russell. I think Russell was 11 out of 12. He got to 11 finals in a modern era, which should never happen, and he won 7 of them. I'll concede that. Same reason why I concede Tom Brady being the greatest ever, because he got more than Montana. But there's some of you that I'm really convinced. Now, I never like to assume anything in sports. I just don't. It's not my thing. I don't just assume LeBron's going to make it to 3 straight more finals. I assumed for this season, barring anything catastrophic, the Warriors and Cavs were going to beat in the finals. That was kind of I didn't really have much of a say in it. Just it was the way things played out. But say he gets to 3 straight finals. What if he loses all 3? And this is a legitimate thing. What if LeBron James ends up 3-7 in 10 NBA finals? Are you going to say he's the greatest ever? Think about it. For everyone, that I think the one defining factor between LeBron and Michael Jordan, I think they are super close. I think there's legitimate arguments to make that LeBron's a better player than Jordan. And there's obviously great arguments to make Jordan a better player than LeBron. But I'm going to go with the rings because that's something we can we can count. It's like, hey, how many do you have? How many do I have? Who's got more? Who's the richest guy on the block? The guy with more money. And it also shows the thing that they did that's most impressive as a byproduct of having all those rings is while they played, they just shut out other guys from becoming legends. There's guys who played during the Jordan era and now the LeBron era that could have been absolute legends, could have had 2 or 3 rings, could have been all-time great, and they're just not, because those 2 guys played, and those 2 guys existed. I mean, hell, I'm one of those people, call me wrong, like I said, I hate to assume, but Jordan could have had 8 rings. I truly believe that. I'm not ever going to guarantee it or say it's exact, but I truly believe he could have had 8 rings. But not only did they shut out their own conference, Jordan shut out the other side too. Because you can make the case this Warriors team is better than the teams Jordan played. Doesn't matter. You get who you get. I'm not the guy who calls out Tom Brady and is like, well, Adam Vinatieri could have missed 2 field goals and be 1-5 or 1-4. Like, I don't care. It happened. We deal with it. And the only people that like to sit there and talk about the missed kicks are people that were probably rooting for the team or just people that wanted to bitch. But let's stop making excuses for LeBron saying, well, if he gets to more, that means he's greater, when you never did that for Elway. You never did that for Jim Kelly. He didn't do that for Brady until he surpassed Montana. So stop making it for LeBron. When was 6 rings not enough?